I have been obsessed with self-care, makeup, beauty, routines, and everything like that since I was 9. So I have had years to perfect my craft in the feminine hygiene, self-care routine area of life. I'm pretty much a veteran in this. Today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a beginner's guide to a feminine hygiene and self-care routine. And so this is for all of you girlies that maybe don't have somebody to talk to about this, or maybe somebody has never told you about stuff like this, or you just don't know where to start and you want to make your own routine. This is the video for you. Hi, I'm Jessica. These are the chapters for today's video, and let's just get right into it. So the way that I run my routines, right, you need to split it up into 3 sections. There's nuances in this, but to keep it beginner friendly, we're just going to talk about only 3. Daily, weekly, and monthly. The difference between these 3 sections is that you focus on completely different things. Let's start with daily. Okay, so for the hygiene section of daily, okay, this is where I take care of my body the most. This is where the upkeep of my body happens. This is where I make sure I'm clean, sanitized, and things like that. So let me break it down for you. However many times you shower a day, not a problem. But you do need to make sure it is at least once. But you know what? After being on the internet for such a long time, I realized a lot of people don't clean themselves properly. You have to have one soap for cleansing, okay? This is for cleaning your body. This is for getting rid of any dirt, any bacteria. Some soaps strip your body of its natural oils, but there are other soaps that clean without doing that. And so maybe opt for those soaps if you have drier skin and things like that. But you need to have at least one for cleaning, actually getting rid of the bacteria and the dirt and things like that. So the second soap that you need to have is one for scent. Obviously, if you're sensitive to scent, maybe skip this one. If you're not sensitive to scent, what excuse do you have for not making sure that your presence is announced everywhere you go? You don't have one. The smells and scent profiles that make you smell the cleanest are the ones with white florals in them. They're the ones that smell a little bit more rich, a little bit more silky, and very, very clean, okay? So if you want to smell elegant but clean, go for a body wash that has white flowers in it. If you like sweets and you want to smell sweet, then the safest option is to always go for a body wash that has vanilla in it. But how do I use the body wash? Just with my hands? No. I personally use 2 things. You just need one. You need a device, okay? Because this hand is not doing anything. It's not getting into anywhere. So you need something that is going to be able to get rid of the dirt, because you have dead skin cells on your skin, okay? There needs to be something that is getting it off. Your hand is not doing that. It's too smooth. So you need a device. Some people use a loofah. Do not use a loofah. It is literally a germ bath, okay? Because it's just scrunched up and all the germs are sitting inside. What you need instead of a loofah is a washcloth. This is basically a loofah, but it is unraveled, and you can get ones with different roughness. So this one was rough in the beginning, but because I exfoliated with it so much, it doesn't feel as rough anymore. And so this not only actually cleans your body, but it exfoliates it as well. So if you were somebody that has like keratosis pilaris or strawberry legs, or just has a little bit more rough skin, this is what's going to get that off. And you will literally come out of the bath feeling like you have been reborn. You need this one. I bought this off of Amazon. If you have an African shop in your area, then get these from there instead, because it's more authentic and it feels a little bit different. So I use this all over my body, but for the crevices, I use a washcloth. This would be a better option for anybody who has very sensitive skin, who wants a little bit of a less rough approach. The washcloth is going to be your best friend. I use this under my arms, downstairs, and also just like any place that's like hidden, any place that has a crevice, I use this. It does a lot more than your hand because there is texture there. There is texture there, so it's going up against your skin and taking off all of those dead skin cells. Part of feminine hygiene also is not just cleansing, but also making sure that your body is nourished. So you do not have an excuse to not lotion yourself. You have just spent however many hours in that shower. It's screaming for water. You need lotion. If you have dry skin, opt for a body butter. If you have oily skin, opt for like a lighter lotion. I use shea butter. Don't use it in the morning, okay? Use it in the evening. But I use authentic African shea butter and it gives me a glow and it actually hydrates me. African shea butter, I will die on that hill. Now let's deal with the skin. What are we gonna do with our skin? If you don't know where to start with skincare and you just want to get the job done, what you need is an oil cleanser, water-based cleanser, a serum, and a moisturizer. That's all. You don't need anything more. This is just a beginner's guide, right? This is a beginner's guide. I can go a lot more in depth, but this is just what you need as a beginner. Whilst I'm doing my creams specifically, I try to brush upwards. So it's like I'm giving myself a little face massage, but also it's kind of like lymphatic drainage, okay? You're getting rid of any excess fluid, water retention, and anything like that is stuck in your face, and it's just going out elsewhere. Okay, so we finally covered the hygiene body care section of the daily part. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the self-care part. These are some self-care activities that you can do every single day, okay? Because I believe it's important to show yourself some form of self-love and some form of self-care every single day. So these are the things that I would suggest for you to do to fill back up that cup and in order for you to be 100% for tomorrow. So for a daily self-care activity, we want to do something that is relaxing. We want to do something that calms us down. We've been on go from the moment that we woke up, so we need to do something that is going to wind us down before bed to help us slow down our minds and things like that. My wind down activity for the night is a book. I read. Reading is definitely something that I would suggest for you to incorporate because not only does it help you be creative, it helps you be imaginative if you're reading fictional books, which is mostly what I read, especially in the evening. It improves cognitive functions as well. It improves how your brain is working because you're not just mindlessly scrolling, you're actually engaging with language, descriptions, and a story that is on a page. Also, I've personally found that every time I read before bed, instead of scrolling before bed, I fall asleep 10 times quicker. So for the people that are self-inflicted insomniacs, reading is going to get you into that dreamland ASAP. Now, I'm not gonna assume that a lot of you guys like to read, which is unfortunate. You need to be getting into books, okay? I don't care if it's an audiobook. Obviously, a little bit of a purist, I prefer a physical book. I do also read audiobooks though, so I can't judge. I don't care how you do it, read. But if you don't particularly want to read, if you find it a little bit of a drag and it's not your form of self-care for a daily thing, then do something else. Do coloring books. If you don't want to do a coloring book and you want to stimulate your mind a little bit more, a jigsaw. I used to do jigsaws almost every single day, and I did it specifically in exam period because your girl was going through it. And it 100% calmed me down. It 100% took my mind off the stress, and when I was going back to thinking about all the work that I had to do, I was less anxious about it. So jigsaws, great self-care. Crosswords, also great self-care. If you want to be big-brained, do a Sudoku puzzle. The whole theme of daily self-care is to make sure that you are doing something that relaxes you, turns your brain off, allows you to pour back into yourself in a slow manner. Now let's talk about weekly. There's more different functions, okay? Weekly operates a little bit more differently than the daily does. So what does weekly do? The focus of a weekly hygiene and self-care routine is resets. Every single week, you need to have a time period where you are resetting, where you are making sure everything else is taken care of in order and organized, okay? And you do that once, minimum, every single week. And so the first thing we are going to talk about is hygiene. So what does a weekly hygiene reset look like? Everything showers. Everything showers are essentially like a pamper spa day for you weekly. There doesn't have to be any cost involved if you don't want it to be. You can do all of this from the comfort of your own home. This is the time where you pull out all the stops. Everything comes out. The oils, the bath soaks, the exfoliating scrubs. Usually what I do for my everything showers, I shave, I exfoliate, I deep cleanse, and I wash my hair. Everything that you would not do on a daily basis, you would save it for this one day a week. You do not shave on a daily basis. You do not exfoliate on a daily basis. Make sure that you're hydrated. Make sure that your iron levels are not low, because this takes time. This takes a very long time, and you deserve to put this time back into your body. So don't feel bad about it. Don't think it's too expensive. Don't think that it's unnecessary. It's necessary because you are caring for you. Nobody else is going to care for you. You need to do that for yourself. And so this everything shower is a little bit symbolic of that, don't you think? And I will feel better after it. It is not vain, it's science. But weekly, we also need to focus on another aspect of reset. We need to make sure that our environment is reset, because if our environment isn't reset, this is not going to be good. And if this isn't good, this is not going to be good. And if this is good, everything out there is not going to be good. So we need to reset our environment. What does this mean? This means once a week, you either declutter your environment or you try and make sure that you put everything back in its place and organize it. Every time I have a hectic schedule, my environment always takes a hit. So this is something that I'm going to personally do this week, because my environment has been crazy because of the past 10 days for this 10 days of Galentine series. So I need to go back, reorganize, distribute everything back into its place. Every time I clean my room, I put a scent in it. This is because I want to give my brain the cue that this smell is associated with me cleaning my room, with wanting me to clean my room, because it is pleasing to me. And so it's going to make me want to clean my room when I smell it. This is the scent I use. It is Q by Qatar. It honestly, it smells like a slightly expensive toilet. I'm not gonna lie to you. It does, but I don't mind it. I kind of like it. Smell, clean room. Smell, clean room. Now for the self-care aspect of the week. This time, I would always focus on creating something. Your week has been stressful. Yes, every night you're winding down, but I want to reconnect with my feminine energy too. Because if I don't connect with my feminine energy, it shows, okay? And I am a creative person as well. So we need to make something. We need to engage with something that is creative, or we need to create, period. So what do? What I did when I was in my uni days, every single week I would do karaoke. My best friend and I lived together, so she would come back from wherever she was during the day or during the evening, and she would just find me sitting in the living room just singing my heart out. Why? Because it was fun. That was my self-care. You need to find that thing that allows you to be creative, or you create, period. I also remember there was this one distinct time where we decided to paint. That painting day did so much for me. I could have cried out of happiness. I have never felt so just like childlike in a very long time before that day. And you know what? I got so much more work done. Oh, academic weapon. If you are somebody that wants to be an academic weapon, if you are somebody that wants to be successful, if you are somebody that wants to hustle, you need to have a weekly self-care routine. And that self-care is not just pampering yourself, it is also mental stimulation and something else that is not career-driven or success-driven. The theme of a weekly is to create. Do something that allows you to express yourself, and that is what is going to fill you up on a week-to-week basis. We're finally into the monthly. I'm gonna be leaving you guys soon. Monthly feminine hygiene and monthly feminine self-care is rooted in maintenance. Once a month, you will have your period. She's the star of the show, unfortunately, as painful as she might be. So you need to make sure that everything around it is surrounding maintaining your body while she's here, and also making sure that you make everything easy and more convenient for you during that time. So what I do for hygiene in that period, I like to shower twice a day. If I genuinely cannot get up because of how bad the cramps are or whatever, I will try my best to shower once a day, because it just makes you feel really, really gross. It would be so beneficial for you if you made sure that everything was clean down there. If there is no hair, great. But if there is some, make sure that it's short, because you're gonna feel more gross, and that is where the wild things are. Make sure that everything is trimmed, short, and everything, so that you can feel less icky during that time. And we shouldn't feel icky anyway. This is something that is natural. It's happening every single month, and it is a blessing for every single woman out there. So she's not gross, okay? She's a part of nature. She's a part of the cycle. You have to embrace it anyway. There's no point in not embracing it, because she's coming back. I like to focus on massaging my stomach and my feet. I don't know why I massage my feet, but it helps. I think it's to do with circulation probably. Speaking of feet, make sure you're wearing socks. when it's that time. Cold is really bad for a woman's body. And also, sometimes she surprises us. Sometimes we don't know when she's gonna come. So make sure that you have on hand in your bags and whenever you go out, a form of collection, whether it is pad, whether it's tampons, have that in your bag for just in case. Also, a very good thing to have when you're out on the go are baby wipes. I had baby wipes on hand because they just made me feel cleaner. We want to feel clean. We want to feel put together. We want to feel feminine. We want to feel great. These things are going to help you do that. And for the self-care part is solo dates. Usually every month I like to take myself out somewhere, whether it is cinema or whether it is doing something. And if I'm not taking myself out, because I like to eat, so I'll have like a stay at home date. And so in that time I will have a particular range of food, and this food will not be something that I eat all the time. It will be something that is different and something that I look forward to or that I don't have as often, so that I can treat myself on that day. And this is one thing that I would highly stress for you to incorporate in your monthly self-care activity, as part of your monthly self-care activity, because of just how much joy you feel after. You kind of ride this high for the beginning of the first 2 weeks of the next month because you took yourself out to watch that movie, or because you took yourself out to go to that show. Like that in accumulation with the daily self-care and the weekly self-care, not only are you going to be in so much more of a better headspace, but you are also just going to have a better relationship with yourself. I find different aspects of my personality coming out because I was less stressed, because I was less in my head, because I was more present. Self-care activities, weekly, daily, and monthly, make you more present in this life that you were living. Oh my gosh, the 10 days of Galentines is over. This has been so fun to do, and I think I've just learned so much in this 10 days of Galentines, not only just talking to you guys and giving you guys advice and just tips and tricks for all these different subjects and topics that I was talking to you guys about, but I have personally been learning so much from the research that I have been doing for the videos, and just like reflecting back on past life experiences and seeing where certain things went right, where certain things went wrong, and just connecting new patterns and things that I didn't even notice. And so it's been such a growing experience. And now that today is Valentine's Day, I hope that you take the time for yourself. You deserve to have a strong relationship with yourself as well. You cannot expect and you cannot just wait for somebody outside to give it to you. It starts here. If you want to listen, it is available on Spotify. The link is in the description. Even though it's over, it's still gonna be on there. Make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media. And if you like this content, if you love this content, if you want to see more of this content, subscribe. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, an amazing day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.